Hi there! Today we're going to do another repotting, and it's going to be the Wilsonara I Sweetheart that I've shown in many of my updates. My very first Orchid Show that I went to, and well, the one that I did record, I guess. And it was one of those finds where I had it with the blooms at the beginning, and now I was waiting for the blooms to die out so that I can repot this. It desperately needs repotting. It is a terrible pot, although transparent. That is the only good thing about it. It has one drainage hole right on the bottom, and no other holes on the side, no other slits or holes on the side for any kind of ventilation. And I can see the roots in there, and they're looking okay, kind of green, but looking okay. And I just don't like that this is potted up completely in sphagnum moss, and that just makes it for a very damp environment. And it's good because, in a way, it's good because Wilsonara sort of is from the Untitled, and they don't like to dry out completely, or else you'll start seeing kind of folds in the leaves. And yes, so this desperately needs repotting, and that's what we're going to be doing. So let me start off with what we need for the repot. I could either use one of these. This is a 4-inch orchid pot. Instead, I am going to recycle one of my other pots, which I have washed off in a bleach solution, a very light bleach solution, just to sanitize it. And then I took like a barbecue lighter, an old one, and I heated it up and made these additional holes. So just to allow for more air circulation. The disadvantage with using a pot like this is you can't see the root growth because it's an opaque pot. So that's something to keep in mind. Now the other thing you need is the medium in which you're going to repot it, and today I'm going to be using bark mix. It's not a very fine one, it's sort of a medium bark mix. This one has some fir bark as well as some, I can see some coconut husks chopped up. It's that and the sphagnum moss. I'm using the long sphagnum moss, and I won't be using all of this. I will probably just use like a handful of it, and the reason being is that the Wilsonara likes to be, it doesn't like to dry out, like I said, so you want to make sure that there is some kind of medium in here that will hold some moisture. And even though the coconut husk does retain some moisture, I won't depend on it completely because it is a young plant too, so it might need a little help. So I'm going to put in some of the sphagnum moss. So let's get started. First off, I'm going to take the plant out of the pot and take the plant out of the pot first, and don't lose your label. Like I said, it is pretty, this one is pretty root bound too, and the medium is terrible. So I'm going to slowly, same thing, just if you watch my other video that I've done on the Miltonia, it is the same. You just go in and start removing all of that sphagnum moss. Please just be very gentle with it. Here is what I'm left with. So not bad, actually, not bad, not too bad. Lots of roots, growing roots, some dead but mostly growing, and something like this where it's so wiry. But what I did find, and I want to point this out to you, most of the stuff from the center of that pot, how it was sitting in the pot, not necessarily the center of the plant, but the center of the pot it was sitting in, would be dead because it was just in sphagnum moss. So I'm going to take a sterilized pair of scissors. I have, and if you're doing several orchids on the same day, you want to make sure to sterilize, clean and sterilize your scissors in between each of these plants so as not to transfer from one plant to another. So here you can see clearly dead. Okay, so I'm just going to snip it right at the base and look for any such roots. There are lots of them, all in the center, but you want to be careful when you're doing that with the good roots because you don't want to cut off any of the good ones. Okay, and there it is. I've cut out all that I think are not good. Saying that, and I see one right there. This one now here, let me just point that to you. It's very spongy. Okay, if I press it, it's very, very spongy. It's not firm like the other roots, and so yeah, it's a goner. It's not doing anything. I'm gonna cut it off from the base. So now what I'm gonna do is give it a thorough rinse, and we'll go on. Okay, so there it is, and it's looking all nice and squeaky clean right now. Not really, but anyways. So now the next thing to do is to figure out which direction the plant is growing. There is a small bulb here. Yes, and so where the old spike was is right, if I can get it there, right here. That was where the old spike is, and that's on this big pseudo bulb right there. So I'm going to try and get, that one's not going to bloom again. So right now it's just going to act again like a reservoir for the rest of the pseudo bulbs around it. And so I will try to place this pseudo bulb as the back of the pot and allow, there's a new growth here. So it's going to be kind of tricky because this one, there's this pseudo bulb here too that needs, I'm hoping would put out a spike at some point, okay? So this is going to be the back of the pot. So bark mix, throw a little on the bottom, okay, just to build up some height. Put a little bit of the moss in there. So I'm placing my, the plant in again. And what you're trying to do is keep the base of this, the base, at the level where the bark mix is gonna, the medium is gonna stop. So place some sphagnum moss randomly, sort of around the roots, and try not to get it close to the crown because that's what happens. It rots in the middle. And throw in my bark mix. Also helps anchor the plant slightly. Okay, there. You're probably watching me thinking, oh no, she forgot about the tiny pseudo bulb that was there. I didn't, but I'm going to go back and rescue it a little bit. Okay, so I'm trying to get the plant in a proper position. There we go. Okay, so yes, I've used very little, and I'm going to place some sphagnum moss on the top, sort of as a, you know, just to kind of give me an idea of when the mix starts to dry out. I'm just going to give the pot a little tap. So there you go, and that is my Wilsonara. Let me put the label back in. Wilsonara Guanshin. Put it in the corner here. Sweetheart. And it has been repotted. So now you don't even have to worry about, you know, watering this orchid until the next time because you have already soaked the medium in water before you used it. So as you can see, it's not a large plant, it's quite small, so this pot is going to be there. It's going to be in this pot for maybe a year, 2 years, until it kind of gets pot bound, and then I would move it to the next size. So thank you for watching, and I hope you liked this video. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And if you are enjoying these videos and do want to stay tuned for more videos from me on gardening, orchids, crafts, and different things like that, please do subscribe. And I hope you enjoyed watching it. And until next time, bye-bye.